Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And it's great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. You'll notice something happened to Keith over the weekend. A little water weight gain. I don't know, a bee sting.
Yes, I was stung by a murder hornet, and I've exploded.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Those things are dangerous.
I know. I'm lucky to be alive.
You are. You really are.
Hoping the swelling goes down soon.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Happy Monday.
On the good side, though, you regrew some hair, so
thank you.
It hasn't been that bad a reaction. So, yeah, you're welcome. This show, by the way, sponsored by ExpressVPN. Don't like the government spying on you? Well, then visit expressvpn.com/unleashed to stay anonymous. Because that whole, I don't care if they're spying on me, I'm not doing anything wrong. Yeah, you're not the decider of what's wrong and what isn't.
That's clear.
Yeah, so you just don't know. All right, we got a brand new, we got so much to get into today. But first, let me start with something lighter, like the bingo card.
Okay.
Because the rest of the news is, it's just dark, isn't it? It's just...
Not all of it. But it does feel like all of it.
It's just, it does.
It's overwhelming.
So we start in the upper left-hand corner. Talk down to me a little bit. Then we got the other guy, Kevin. Lying dog-faced pony soldier audio from Biden. Jeffy's wife's granddaughter is mentioned. Man unit. Hating hate mongers who hate.
A lot of those.
You look like an idiot. Audio. Fear leads to anger.
These don't count, by the way.
Leads to hate. Right.
These do not count.
Hate leads to suffering. Yes. Yes. No.
No.
No. Yes. No. Yes. Arguing with myself again, I am. Yes. No. No. Yes. Then NFL Films music, which sounds a lot like this. In fact, this is it. It sounds exactly like this. And again, this part doesn't count. We're just demonstrating for you.
Examples.
Cup of Postum, which is usually in connection with Joe Scarborough. Biden, she's a good friend. Who's a friend? That's a friend. She's a friend of mine. We're friendly. Documentary equals movie. This isn't an article from the Babylon Bee. That's coming up more and more because everything sounds like an article from the Babylon Bee. Bat crap crazy. Oh, we're going to have ample opportunity for that. Jeffy saying, you got 30 minutes. Yeah, at 18 minutes to 15, and you can bring down the 7. You got 30 minutes.
How it works. Just telling you how it works.
6-8 weeks or 6-8 days, 6-8 months, 6-8 years. I don't know why every time it is. Something like 6-8 months ago. Why wouldn't you say 6 or 7 months? 6-8 months.
That started a long time ago.
It did.
Wow.
Yeah, it did. Just below the surface of the Earth at several million degrees. Keith Jackson sports it. Oh, the... golly! Look at that football! The football! The dogs have it hold everything. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. That's a Biden clip as well. Jeffy. Oh, it's that kind of a so.
I don't know, maybe. Or it could be so. That's the way I took that.
You're probably right.
So.
You're probably right. Jeffy calls something bougie. Underpants. Sappy music with a sad story. Talk of funeral potatoes. I don't know if we've done that for a while.
No, we haven't.
And too soon? Definitely too soon.
Definitely.
For many things.
Yes.
Wow.
Although I did say a lot of things over the weekend, that's definitely too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Too soon for being on microphone and saying them, I'll tell you that.
There's a lot of things I want to say on the microphone, but we just frankly can't. Or otherwise, it'd be the last thing I ever said on a microphone. But wow. What a weekend it was for the United States of America. And don't even try to tell me that any of this is, I don't care if it's the protests or the looting, you're not doing this in the name of George Floyd. This is not for him. Nobody I know is opposed to this cop being charged with murder, and he was. The guy, the cop who killed him, reprehensible. We all know it. Everybody's on that page.
Yes. I would say that most everyone is on the page of him and the other three officers.
And the other three, you bet. They should get They should have charges filed against them.
Those are. I'm told in everything that I've read that those are pending for those other three officers.
So we'll see. But so far, this has proceeded exactly the way it should have under the circumstances, right? They were all fired summarily right away. And then they took a few days to investigate, and they charged the guy with third-degree murder and a manslaughter charge. So why all the rioting all across America? Did you see the list of the cities where violence has erupted?
Well, all major cities.
I mean, yeah. Los Angeles, Seattle, Nashville, Oklahoma City, Salt Lake City. Okay, what do you have to do with what's going on in Minneapolis, in Salt Lake City? Come on now. Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, New York City, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Miami, Vegas, Cleveland, Denver, Des Moines, Dallas, Houston, Indianapolis, Charlotte, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Columbia, Wilmington, Portland, Phoenix, Tampa, and more. Over 40 cities have imposed curfews, including Salt Lake City. I think they have an 8 o'clock curfew. In Dallas, I think they instituted a curfew, didn't they?
Yeah, most cities did. The only city I saw that didn't do a curfew was New York City.
Really?
De Blasio said he wasn't going to do a curfew. Oh, okay.
All right. This thing is so despicable that when people take advantage of a tragedy like this and just use it as an excuse to do whatever crazy criminal things they want to do. Looting stores has nothing to do with George Floyd. Nothing whatsoever to do with what happened to George Floyd. Nope. Do we have the
we have a ton of videos.
Let me show you first of all this shoe store in Rochester being looted. Look at this. This is just unbelievable. Okay, so they're carrying out
everything.
I mean, massive boxes of shoes.
Traffic has stopped. Traffic stopped, and they're just getting out of their cars, running into the store, grabbing their stuff. In fact, later in this video, and I don't know that we airing the whole video because of the language and some of the other actions that go on, but this lady comes back.
Does she?
She comes back for more.
Oh, my gosh. So they actually go out and recruit people to come to the store and loot as well. Hey, come on in. Free shoes for everybody.
Yeah.
Really?
Just take it. One lady showed up with her cooler. Another guy's got a box, a plastic box that they're just loading up with. It's incredible.
I mean, look at this. Just it's Christmas Day to these people, and not for the owner of the store, of course.
No.
Who's been completely wiped out now. I mean, they're taking every single shoe in the place. I doubt they've tried them on to make sure they fit.
The cooler lady.
I don't know. They don't even care if they fit. It's despicable. And so this goes on for, I don't know, a long time.
Yeah.
Long time running in and out.
This video is, I think, 4 minutes alone.
Yeah.
Just this video. And I mean, obviously it started before he started recording and goes on after. But it doesn't take long to wipe out a store when you have a throng of people.
Hundreds of people running into the store, taking as many as they can possibly carry right out of the store. Some even got some bags first and did it in a fairly organized. Yeah, you want the store bag, so they put the boxes in the shopping bag and left quite calmly.
Guess that makes it look like you paid for it.
Jeez, unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable,
really unbelievable.
And again, that's on behalf of George Floyd. Is that what we're expected to believe here?
Yes. Yes, we are. We are expected to believe that.
How do you protect these businesses? I mean, the cops just let it happen. They're just letting them do it.
Well, a lot of the police officers are told to stand down.
Yep.
Right? I mean, they're supposed to try to contain what is going on. Okay.
There didn't seem to be any containment there.
No, there doesn't. You're just destroying another person's property and stealing the merchandise.
Taking their livelihood, and you don't care. You don't care if it's a black-owned business, a white-owned business. Doesn't matter to you at all. You're just going to get yours. I'm just going to get my $300 shoes right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll bet George Floyd really appreciates that. His family has been begging people to stop, saying this would kill him. This would really be heartbreaking for him. He would hate it, is what his mother said. So that was Rochester. Here's another shoe store in Chicago suffering the same kind of fate, which is
Just
it's a
melee.
Nike. It's a Nike store.
Yeah.
Now everybody's pouring in, getting their clothing.
And you can't.
Shoes.
They've created a new doorway.
Yeah.
With the front window.
Right.
So they're just going in and out of the display window.
Oh man, unbelievable.
And there's plenty. I mean, obviously we'll get through some other videos for those of you watching on Blaze TV and listening on Blaze Radio. There's some incredible video of different stores and the rioting. And I'm sorry, they're not protesters. They're not protesters.
No, that's not what is happening here.
No.
As often is the case. I mean, this just devolves into bedlam and anarchy. And I think, speaking of anarchy, anarchists are leading the way here, and people like Antifa are leading the way here. I think they're bussing people in. Maybe not all of the protesters. In fact, what they just found out in Minneapolis was that only 6 of the people arrested are from somewhere else. Those are actually locals destroying their own area. And then we were told by the Minnesota governor, these are right-wing kooks. These are mostly white supremacists.
Yeah.
What? Well, that's been shot down already.
And originally, the Minneapolis mayor, right? It was Minneapolis or St. Paul mayor. He had said that they were all the arrests were.
He said all of them were out of state,
which had been in an interview.
6 of them
with Jake Tapper, Melvin Carter, Mayor Melvin Carter. Even Jake said that's been disproven.
Yeah.
So,
I want to clarify something. You originally said that every single person arrested on Friday night in your city was from out of state. Local news investigations suggest that's not true. You have conceded that. But a larger question here, do you have a better idea of who the people rioting and looting are?
Well, good morning and thanks for having me on.
Stop
I'll tell you
with
this.
that.
What we know is there's some people in our community, there's some people in our streets who are driven there by a passion for our community, by a love for our community, and by a deep desire to never see the painful loss of life. Like the video of the killing of George Floyd that we all saw this week. And then there's folks in our streets who are there to burn down our black-owned barbershops, to burn down our family-owned businesses, our immigrant-owned restaurants. And it is very clear to me that those people are not driven by a love for our community. And there's no way you can argue that those actions are designed to produce a better future for our community. Quite the opposite.
It is so irritating when you've asked this guy, a serious question, complex question. You've taken 30 seconds to ask it. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Good morning. Good morning, and thank you for having me on. I was telling your phone screener a few minutes ago that it's really nice of you to have me on. I watched your show, several times. I don't even know. I haven't counted all of them. But I got a tally at home. But I forgot to bring it with me. But it's quite a few times.
He said he loved my set.
Yeah,
my office here.
Yeah, the background behind me, it's not real. It's just a photograph to make it look like I'm in the place where I'm really not. But it's usually a place that has something to do with the city from which I'm broadcasting. But in this particular case, it's not really appropriate.
These people on the streets.
Thank you. Yeah, the people on the street. Was that your question? I'm sorry, I forgot your question. Would you ask me that again? Yeah. Stop it! Just answer the question. You don't need the good morning. You don't need the thanks for having me on. All right. Just a little safety tip in case you show up on Jake Tapper's show.
That's what Jake said, actually. If you read between the lines, that's what he said.
Yes.
He was saying.
Basically. So his claims about they're all out-of-towners turns out not to be true.
No.
In fact, mostly not out-of-towners at all. 6 of them, again, have been out-of-towners. And so, and as far as right-wing, first of all, the right-wing does not, we don't do this. If you're on the right side of the political spectrum, you don't go out and riot. When was the last time anybody, Charlottesville, I guess, was an out-of-hand situation. But those aren't right-wing people. Those are left-wing people. Those are Nazi-type people. Nazis are not on the right. Nazis are on the left. That's a lot of government.
Although a lot of the Democrats and the left make it seem that way.
They try to get you to believe that.
Yeah.
That's the European spectrum. That's not the United States spectrum.
Well, the European spectrum is the best.
Well, yeah, in Europe, they know what they're doing. In Europe, you see how they do things in Europe. In Europe, they're a lot better than we are in Europe. Okay, why don't you move there? Everybody who believes that way.
I like it so much. Why don't you
marry it? All right. While Democrats and their media allies keep making it harder for Americans to get out of this economic nightmare, Patriot Mobile has tried to help by lowering their prices even more. Right now, their U.S.-based team is standing by to design a really great customized family plan for you, starting at just $25. $25 a month. Plus, they won't charge you hidden fees, and they don't send your money to Planned Parenthood or other left-wing causes like gun control. And you get the same reliable nationwide service, and you support a company that shares your values and supports our Constitution and puts people before profit. Right now, when you join their family of freedom-loving Americans, you'll get free activation and a free gift with the offer code PAT. Call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT, or just visit patriotmobile.com/Pat. Get your customized family plan today, starting as low as $25 a month. 972-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/Pat.
Pat Gray.
Yeah, security expert, former British Army counterterrorism officer Adam Leggett, who now works as a security consultant, told USA Today that intelligence reports are showing these agitators are definitely left-wing anarchists. Antifa, anyone? George Soros money behind it, perhaps? I don't know, but it's certainly not. These are not conservative protesters. Leggett, the security consultant, said intelligence reports from his colleagues indicate most of the hardcore protesters in Minneapolis are far left or anarchists, and that far right groups have not made a significant appearance. Significant? I doubt they've been there at all. He said looting is typically done by locals, usually people with no criminal record who just get caught up in the moment. But direct conflicts with authorities come from a mix of both locals and outside groups who see these conflicts as a core part of their mission. So they're on a mission. And again, this isn't about George Floyd in any way, shape, or form. This is about destroying the United States as we know it. Many of the anarchists, he said, target banks, chain businesses, and even luxury cars as symbols of corrupt institutions. He said even a peaceful protest can turn violent if outside agitators decide to participate and hijack the message. And also, Attorney General William Barr said the violence is being carried out by far-left extremist groups, and he did say they're Antifa-like, at least.
Yeah.
If not Antifa. So...
Which now they're going to designate, right, a terrorist group.
Yes.
They're absolutely, at least they're...
About time, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
It's about time.
Yes. And I see where Washington, D.C., I don't know, how it has to stop. It has to. There has to be some form of law and order.
Yep.
I mean, I know that, President Trump is called in, the National Guard's been called in Washington, D.C. Some other areas are called in, partially calling in the National Guard in some of these cities. I know Texas is, the governor has said that it is what did he designate it? I mean, it's definitely the governor of Texas has now designated the state of Texas a disaster declaration. So, okay. I mean, I don't know how many other states are designating their states a disaster, but there has to be some sort of law and order.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means military, I guess that's what it means.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it means.
Yeah, well, you start with the National Guard.
Nobody wants that.
No, but, I mean, order has to be restored. We can't have rioting, burning down people's businesses, and especially in the middle of a pandemic. And by the way, where's the social distancing, protesters?
Oh, my God.
I mean, the same people who will look at you like you're murdering people, like you're committing genocide if you don't have a mask on.
A week ago,
are all jammed together by the thousands in the streets, spitting and spewing and carrying on like there's no tomorrow, because there may not be. There may not be a tomorrow. I'm not sure.
Really?
It's about that bad now. There may not be. We'll see. But if we don't have a massive outbreak in Minneapolis, Minnesota after this, I officially declare the COVID-19 pandemic over, because you can't break any more rules or protocols or guidance from the Faucis of the world than they're breaking right now in Minneapolis.
And all the major cities. I mean, let alone Minneapolis, but for sure Minneapolis.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing it in New York.
Yeah.
Where it's still pretty bad. I mean, it's come down a little bit, but still, this could kick that right back into gear.
Sure could. It sure could.
It's pretty amazing. And of course, again, it makes it all the worse when we've got these other considerations as well, when 40.6 million people have lost their jobs in the last 10 weeks. And then you have this on top of it.
Well, it certainly hasn't... The loss of employment and the lockdown has not assisted in people feeling happy.
That's for sure. That's for sure. You had a lot of pissed off, irritated, frustrated people to begin with, and then you toss a little match into the powder keg. So protesters are getting a little out of control in many places. A lot out of control. Did you see the one where they're dragging officers through the street? They get a hold of two officers who are trying to make an arrest, and check out what happens. The mob just comes after them. They're both women. It took women to jump into this thing and say, stop. That is amazing.
I don't know that they...
Where are the men?
I don't know that they identify as women.
Where are the men in this world? Where are the men? Have they all been killed by fluoride? Sad. Maybe really? Alex has a point, right?
Right.
Maybe.
Thank you. Where are the men?
And it wasn't exactly the... Here, this is the men. Here.
To feel what the children are feeling.
Yes, tell us, Alex.
God almighty.
I know, I hear you.
Folks, we gotta get good people to stand up against these people.
Yes, we do.
I probably shouldn't even have done this radio show today.
Already did.
Because I have this disgusted cover for how I just hate the globalists, but it's more than that.
Globalists.
And I just get flippant and angry, but it's because deep down, folks, I can see what they're doing, and we have a responsibility to stop these globalists. Where are the men in this country?
Thank you.
Where are the men in this world? What
Good
the
question,
hell
Alex.
have we
We're asking.
What have we where are the men?
We just offer our children up to the system with the fluoride in the water and the GMO hurting them, and we let fat perverts grab them at the airport to train them for the pedophile government.
There's a lot there.
And we've just got such a sick society.
We still haven't addressed it all.
No, we have
It's been years. We still haven't been able to address every single point in that there are just too many of them. There's an infinite number of points
The main
there.
question is, where are the men?
That's
right
the main
now.
question
That's what
right
we're
now.
focusing on right now.
Where are the men? It took women to break up that beating of the police officers. Who knows what would have happened to those guys
I know.
had the two women not intervened? Amazing. Where are the men?
So we were asking.
Okay. Also in Dallas, over the weekend, an owner is protecting his business, and he's protecting it with a gigantic knife, like a machete. And he's trying to chase off some people, and he does have, a lethal weapon in his hand. But then the protesters, the people who are so upset by George Floyd's death, they get together and take care of him. Watch this. This is disturbing, to say the least.
Very disturbing.
So there he chases after a guy.
And this video
doesn't get him.
Just FYI, this video taken by Elijah Schaefer from Blaze TV.
Oh, right. Right, and then look at this mob gather quickly, beating, kicking, stomping on him.
It's really bad.
Really bad. And they leave him in a twisted clump on the street.
The last report I saw that
He's
was
okay.
in stable
condition. Yeah, in the hospital.
Right. Doesn't mean good.
He woke up later, he sat up, and then, obviously they called an ambulance, got him to the hospital. But, just brutally beaten by these animals. And again, I don't care if they're white, black, brown, I don't care what, you're an animal if you're acting this way, because you've got no humanity left in you. It's just unbelievable. Really despicable. And they're justifying it because he did have a knife. But he's defending his business. If he would have had a gun, there'd be some dead protesters, dead rioters there, right?
Yeah.
That elderly couple that got attacked, too, defending their business with 2x4s, should have had guns on them. That would have been a different situation there as well.
That was in Rochester, right?
I think it was Rochester.
Yeah, I think we.
How did things get so bad in Rochester, New York? Jeez.
I feel like we have the couple in Rochester outside of their store.
Do we have that?
One of the most violent
the news report
witnessed by a photographer
right
near Monroe Avenue in Rochester. As Ginny Ryan reports, a woman was brutally beaten by an angry mob.
Beaten?
There was a woman that was out there, and she was trying to talk to people, and all of a sudden they just started beating her up. They started punching her in the face.
Joe Painter witnessed it all. He says the beating began when the female victim approached the group looting a nearby store. Her husband tried to fend them off with a golf club. He grabbed from inside Rochester fire equipment. But he was no match for this angry mob.
I'm in the military. I'm in the Navy. I've been to Afghanistan, and I've seen some crazy stuff. But this is definitely one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Painter still.
Wait, that's unbelievable. It's way too many instances of people just becoming animals and just giving in to their basest instinct. It's horrible. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where we got some tweets here. We are all in this toboggan.
Wait.
Tweets.
What?
Really powerful words from the mayor of St. Paul, weren't they?
Thank you, Melvin Carter.
I'll paraphrase. The people burning down the city don't have a love for our city. Actually, didn't he kind of say that the people burning down the city do have a love for the city? Wasn't it?
It's kind of.
Let's listen to the guy again.
Kind of.
And see if we can decipher what it is he's trying to say.
I want to clarify something. You originally said that every single person arrested on Friday night in your city was from out of state.
First of all, Jake,
local news investigations suggest that's not true. You have conceded that.
Long-time
but
listener,
a larger
first-time
question: do you have a better idea of who the people rioting and looting are?
Well, good morning and thanks for having me on. I'll tell you this. What we know is there's some people in our community, there's some people in our streets who are driven there by a passion for our community, by a love for our community,
all right,
by a deep desire
he says they do.
To never see
but I think
the
some
painful
of them don't.
loss of life, like the killing, like the video of the killing of George Floyd that we all saw this week. And then there's folks in our streets who are there to burn down our black-owned barbershops, to burn down our family-owned businesses, our immigrant-owned restaurants. And it is very clear to me that those people are not driven by a love for our community.
Oh, they're not.
There's no way.
Okay, some of them are, but they're not. I got it. Okay. From Kara 3022, for years, leftist loons constantly threw self-righteous tantrums screaming, "Why do you need an AR-15?" Do you get it now? Seriously.
I know.
If you only had a 6-shot weapon and you got 30 people trying to get into your business, you're going to be glad you've got 15 or 20 shots or 30 or 80 or 100 shots. Jeffy's spatial distortion tweets. Boy, that was a brilliant assessment, wasn't it? Those people that are burning down our city don't love our city. Brilliant. From Bob Loblaw, I remember Glenn once. I remember Glenn once warning about a coming insurrection. Yeah, right. Like that'll ever happen? Nope. No, it's preposterous.
Crazy.
Jeffy's the Waffle House looter. The death of George Floyd is just an excuse to vent by looting. Liberal mayors and their liberal policies of high taxes caused their frustration, which caused the riots and the looting. Agreed. From Real American Barbecue, we're watching the argument for why we need 15-round pistol mags, 30-round rifle mags, less gun restrictions, etc. Police are abandoning large swaths of areas, and politicians want to take our guns? Nope, not today.
I know that. And look, that's I don't know how you justify the just stand down and let it go, let them burn.
Yeah. And that's what police are doing. So if you don't want your business looted and burned to the ground, you don't want to lose everything you have, everything maybe you've worked your whole life for, what are you going to do? Because police aren't doing anything.
You have to protect
yourself. You have to protect it. And in order to protect it, you've got to be armed. Otherwise, you're going to get killed by these animals.
Yeah.
They'll kill you.
We've seen, at least, they may not kill you, but they will harm you.
Oh, somebody's going to get killed here if this doesn't stop. Somebody will be killed. You can't just beat and stomp and kick and bash people over the head, and then, everything's fine, usually. We've been fortunate so far. Brandon tweets, the reports are in. Not one pair of work boots looted this weekend. Really? They didn't get any work boots? What?
Their argument to that is, I don't have any work.
Yes, that's true. So they need those Air Jordans.
Yes, thank you.
They need them. Got to have them. Mostly unruly alternative explanation. These riots are not even the goal of this. They want this to be the beginning of their revolution. Yeah, I believe that.
I think so too. I mean, I don't know what I don't know what the end is. I guess just burn it all down, start again.
Mm-hmm. Burn it
all down. That's the end.
And say
end goal.
Capitalism didn't work. We've got to rebuild it with a more equitable system. Socialism, for instance.
Well,
of course,
if we burn it all down and then we do it right.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, then we're fine.
It just hasn't been done right, And Bernie said Marxism has never even been tried on this planet. Huh.
Wait.
That's interesting. A guy Herm tweets, remember Bernie Bros saying cities will burn if Sanders is not nominated? There you go. Yeah, and they don't even have to wait for the convention. They found their excuse. Here it is.
They sure did.
Here it is. DMXDM. You guys know what's going to happen. They're going to lock the U.S. down tighter to keep the protesters safe from the virus. Also, so they can freely loot the towns dry. From Pelosi's morbidly Botoxed face. They are rioting and looting because of the police state. Come November, all these fools will vote for people that want to increase the police state. And President Tweety tweets, and just like that, the coronavirus doesn't exist anymore. I haven't heard a single person complain about how all the protesters are going to die from COVID-19. You would think CNN would be all over that, right?
Yes, you would.
Look at these people. Shocking how close they are to one another. Oh, no, there's going to be a second wave. Yeah, there's none of that on CNN.
No, there is not.
Zero. When in Minneapolis, when you see some of those aerial shots, literally thousands and thousands of people all jammed in together. There's no distancing there, social or otherwise.
Highways shut down.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And they are shoulder to shoulder, front to back, spreading COVID.
And I'm sorry, if you're in the freeway and you've parked your vehicle sideways on it and you're sitting on the roof of it, as happened in Dallas, I think it was on I-75. So they're on 75, or it might be Texas 75, but they're all freeways in
East,
Dallas.
west, south, north.
Right, one of those,
there.
somewhere. And so there's one parked sideways in the middle lane, sitting on top of it, and then there's people standing on either side of the car. Like, okay, you're going to have to stop for me. Yep. Nope, I'm not. Okay? I'm not. You're not supposed to be there. And if you don't want to get run over, get out of the way.
Well, in Minneapolis, they've shut down the interstates, right, with the people marching and protesting.
They've done it here in Dallas.
Yeah, but and look, if you are in, I was reading a report from a security group that talked about, look, if you get into a situation where your automobile is being surrounded. There's no talking.
I'm not allowing that.
Just slow roll out of there, or back up and turn around and get out of there.
Right.
But if it
don't try to communicate with them, just get out of there.
Find a way to get out of there. And if there's violence, then this particular group out of Tampa said, all bets are off. Get out. If you have to run somebody over, you have to. But your family and your life is most important.
And you hope they move.
With the slow roll, just get out of there.
And if they don't move, they will move eventually. Either your car will move them or they will get out of the way.
And we have talked about this before.
If you're that butt stupid that you're going to stand in front of a rolling vehicle, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I can't help you. You got us there. He had to run you over. Sorry. Oh, well. I don't want it to happen.
No.
But I'm not going to let a bunch of Antifa supporters surround my vehicle and then come in after me. I'm going to roll through it. I'm going to do it slowly so as to allow you to get out of the way and to hurt people less. But I'm not going to stop.
No.
I'm going to slowly drive through it.
Please, I'm going to roll down my window and say, please.
Yeah, no.
People,
don't be doing that. They'll drag you right out of that.
I know.
Window. They'll drag you right out and beat you dead. You can't allow it. Did you see the cops that were surrounded? Where was that? One cop was surrounded, and they put like a fence in front of him.
It got separated. They said that particular one got separated from the crowd, and they were getting ready to go after him. He was.
Yeah, they were surrounding the vehicle. And then another police cruiser drove up and went around some of them, and it kind of drove through them. And so he went forward and, knocked some of them out of the way, knocked them down.
There's plenty.
And then all of a sudden he's at fault. I'm sorry, you're in the road. Get out of the road.
There's plenty of examples of, like in Los Angeles, there were streets of police cars burned and beaten and destroyed.
Right.
Just what?
Yeah. You can't allow yourself to be surrounded like that by an angry mob.
It happens fast, though.
It really does.
It happens fast, man.
Yeah, you got to keep your head and just drive slowly through them. They will move. They'll move. Or they won't, and they'll be underneath your car as you leave. And you don't want that to happen?
You can't allow your family.
But when it's them or you, what are you going to do? We have the right to self-defense in this country. All right. Let me take 60 seconds and tell you about Rough Greens. Here's something you might not know about your dog's food. That dry kibble stuff, there's nothing alive in it. Food like that has to have a long shelf life, so the manufacturers sterilize it, and that kills all the live nutrients in your dog's food. Now, Rough Greens VitaSmart isn't a dog food, it's a powder. It's a supplement that you sprinkle into your dog's food, mix it in, and they absolutely love the taste. They can't get enough of it. If they're finicky before, they won't be when you put this on it. Rough Greens contains massive amounts of vitamins, minerals, digestive enzymes, probiotics, even omega oils. But don't tell your dog. They'll just think it tastes good. It'll be our little secret. Then it supports a healthy skin and coat for your dog. It gives him that youthful energy like they used to have. Take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge today. Just $14.95. You'll see the difference in your dog in less than 2 weeks. If you want to see your dog thrive again, go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Then there were the protesters in Dallas who took a knee. Did you see that little protest? They took a knee, Jeffy. Isn't that clever? Like the football players do during the national anthem. They took a knee. That meant, hey, police suck or something. I don't know what that means.
Well, it couldn't have meant police suck because there were some policemen who were taking a knee with the protesters as well.
Jeez.
So...
Oh, it's aggravating, isn't it? It's mind-numbing. So there's that.
I mean, look. And then we don't need to play it. I mean, but Cory Booker, talked about, I wished hundreds of thousands of parents didn't have to teach black boys how not to get killed by police. Well, I saw other people over the weekend talking about how, they wish they didn't have to tense up when a police car pulls up behind them. I guess I do that too.
Mm-hmm. I think we all do.
I do that too.
Right?
I don't want a ticket. I don't want to. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have to deal with the police officer. But when I do, two hands on the wheel when they come up to the window. I've taught my children that. That's how the police officer knows. I mean, there are millions of interactions that the police do with the public every day in America, and people do not get killed. Mm-hmm. I know that I know we have examples, and as we said, the Minneapolis example with George, it's playing out like it's supposed to. Mm-hmm. The person is in jail,
right? And
he was arrested and fired for his job.
So it kind of leads you to believe that's not what this is about.
It does lead you to believe that.
Yeah.
It does lead you to believe that.
So as demonstrators gathered second night in Dallas to decry police brutality and the killings of black people nationwide, and by the way, more white people are killed nationwide than blacks, but
why do you?
That's racist to even point out, I think.
I mean, is it systemic or systematic racism? But that's what you're showing right now. That's what.
Right.
That's what you. I mean,
let me.
You're
apologize.
Part of it.
Yeah, they only kill black people. You're right. By 11 p.m. Saturday night, Dallas police said that they made 74 arrests as chaos and violence extended into Uptown and Victory Park. Capping a day of mayhem that ensnared even non-participants. A young woman who said she wasn't part of the protest. She was just walking home with her groceries downtown, struck by one of those rubber bullets, or the pellets, fired by police. Did you see that? She got hit right in the forehead. Ouch. She was a bloody mess. Yeah, ouch. That hurt more than the $90,000 that guy owes to the tax people. And
right, it sure as heck did.
And they helped him out.
And don't worry, you won't have to worry about walking home with groceries anymore because that store will be closed.
Yeah. Well, on McKinney Avenue here in Dallas, the Whole Foods store was looted. Okay, these are your liberal friends. What are you doing?
Right. They're on your side.
They love the environment. They
sure do.
They love the climate change thing. They're trying to stop the climate change
thing. Bring your own bags.
They were so concerned about animals that they will no longer deliver live lobster because it's too uncomfortable for them. Never mind the fact that once they get there, you're going to boil them alive. That apparently is fine. But they won't deliver them to be boiled alive.
No.
Because it makes them feel uncomfortable. All right? So that's whose place you just looted. Whole Foods.
I mean, there's plenty of stores just shutting down, right, across America.
They have to. I would shut down and board up. Yeah, you have to, right? And then you have to stand outside it. You have to stand outside your doors with the AR-15s.
And I don't know, the Targets and the CVS's and all the other stores, the major chains that are closing in areas that they feel is dangerous for their workers in the store. I mean, I guess you have to have some kind of protection then, or you hope that the tax money that you've been paying provides that protection from police. But good luck with that.
Early Saturday afternoon here in Dallas, several hundred people of various ages and races had gathered peacefully at City Hall, chanting "No more" as workers inside peered from the windows. "How do you spell racist?" "DPD," the crowd responded. So the Dallas Police Department is racist. I don't know if you remember this, but what was it, 5 years ago when 5 Dallas officers were shot dead? Anybody remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, all this anti-police rhetoric is really bad and really dangerous. And they don't seem to care about that.
No, they do not.
The Democrats, the left-wing idiots, don't seem to care one iota about that. Why is the Dallas Police Department racist when this happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, almost 1,000 miles from here? Yeah, it's because they want to get some Air Jordans at the nearby Foot Locker.
Right.
Oh, man. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. You can check out our YouTube channel anytime. Sign up, subscribe, please. Rate, record. Do the same thing for Jeffy's Chewing the Fat thing.
Thank you.
A podcast there.
Thank you. Daily podcast, Chewing the Fat, YouTube channel. Just subscribe to them all.
That's right. They're all free. It doesn't cost you a thing. So
I don't know how long that's going to happen, but they're free right now. So
free
get
right
to
now.
it.
That's all we can guarantee. Free today.
That's right.
Like the shoes at
thank you
at the store in Rochester, Minnesota, and then the one in Chicago, Illinois. Apparently, all shoes were 100% off.
100% off. They opened the store right up.
Don't even bother coming in through the door. Just come in through the big glass window next to the door if you want.
The display window.
Fine.
That's how free this stuff is.
That's how free it is.
Open the display window just for you.
Today, and tonight, and then tomorrow, and then probably the day after that. As long as police continue to allow this to happen, the sale continues.
Boy, no kidding.
Unbelievable. Got some tweets here. Jeremy tweets, "For decades, the left has eroded the Judeo-Christian basis for morality in our nation. Now we're seeing the fruit of a populace without God." Really true. Seriously, that's the only thing that can save us. Turning back to God. Just waiting for the Jeffy face.
No, no face.
No?
There's no face.
No face? Okay.
No face. Why?
Usually the eyes would roll, the face would happen. No face, no eye
face?
roll.
I'm about to turn back. I got you. Turn back.
All right, good.
Turn back.
Yes. Jeffy, the Waffle House looter tweets, $100 says the cities that had riots don't get the Rona second wave. I bet that might be true. It might be true.
I mean, I kind of hope it is. But on one hand, then I kind of hope that it is. Kind of willing to pay the $100.
You almost feel like I just serve you people right.
You do kind of feel that way.
Yeah,
a little. But then, like you just said, Pat, turn back.
Yes, turn back. Scuba Steve tweets, "Of course CNN won't say anything. Everyone knows COVID-19 only spreads when conservatives rally."
Duh.
Sometimes we forget that, but that's correct.
Oh, yes.
From a damn Schiffler, "You're so considerate, Pat. I'll just plow through at full speed, no mercy."
No, you can't do that.
No,
seriously.
No, honey. From Poppycock, "Standing on a highway to protest? If I roll through, I ain't stopping. You'll move, or Darwin will take over."
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
thinning of the herd. Thinning of the herd.
That is seriously the thinning of the herd.
From 28th Amendment virus clause. Strange how the totalitarian mayors and governors who shamed us for having the gall to want civil rights during a pandemic are now making speeches about having the courage to practice civil rights during a pandemic.
Oh boy, that's a fact.
COVID bullet 23, those beatings are exactly why I speak softly and carry a SIG 229 with 3 magazines. From Lowell Max Johnson, where are the men? Protests become riots, police dragged in the streets, women rescue them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Wow. And Spunky Trucker. Did Keith tag along on Stu Does America's Vacation to save a couple of bucks? I think that is. No, he's sitting right there. Just had a little water weight gain over the weekend, that's all. Just those 5 dreaded days of the month where you get a little bloated.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what, right? I mean, am I right?
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. There was some. First of all, I want to say happy birthday to a couple people.
Okay.
First, my daughter.
Oh.
My daughter.
Happy
13
birthday
today.
to Maya.
13.
Wow.
Ooh.
Goes by fast, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. It's a shame that I told her it's a job or she's out at 13.
Well, yeah. I mean, please. How long do you have
I woke
to
her up before I left this morning and said, "Hey, happy birthday!
Time to get up and get looking for work."
The bricks.
Yeah, good.
Need some cash coming in.
Good.
And happy birthday to Rob.
Rob, our producer, Rob,
our television and radio technician.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday! June 1st, hurricane season officially begins. Today, yay! We've already, for the 6th year in a row, though, we've had a couple of storms during the preseason already show up.
Yeah.
Arthur and Bertha are already there.
The preseason hurricanes, though,
yes,
don't count. They don't count.
But they do.
They don't count. Not like the regular season. Not like the playoffs. Playoffs? Talk to me about playoffs. All right. Oh, I got to tell you about Keeps, because keeping your hair is one thing that you now can do. You do have control over it. It used to be that if you start losing your hair, sorry, you just lose your hair. You try a wig or, then they develop that thing where they can take hair from your armpit or something and jam it into your skull.
That does not sound good.
It doesn't, does it?
It doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. But Keeps is something different because they have 2 FDA-approved generic versions that can help you keep your hair. And all you have to do is go online. You don't have to go to the doctor's office. You go online from the comfort and privacy of your own living room couch or wherever you want to do it at home. Answer a few questions online, snap a few pictures, send those in, and then a doctor will evaluate all your information and recommend the right FDA-approved hair loss treatment for you. And in 65% of cases, you get hair regrowth. Not just hair loss. 90% get hair loss stoppage. And then I think it's 65% actually experience hair regrowth. That's awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome. Then it's all shipped discreetly to your door. Keeps let you save your hair without leaving your home or your couch. And to get you started, we'll get you half off the price on your first order. Half off. Go to keeps.com/Pat. That's keeps.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Apparently, cash is having a difficult time during this pandemic as well. Nobody wants to touch it. And I've seen more and more at businesses I go to, no cash accepted. And
really?
They're a little worried that whatever you're handing to them might be filled with the Rona.
Well, at one time
Nobody
we were
wants it.
told that surfaces hold the Rona for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
and then
like
we were
17 years or something.
Then we were told that. Well, then it was down to a couple of days.
Yeah,
And
or then it was down to a couple of seconds. Then it's back up to 17 days.
And then it's now. Don't worry about it. It doesn't hold it. You don't have to worry about those grocery bags. You don't have to worry about the merchandise on the shelves.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
No,
never
you
mind.
don't. Never mind.
I mean, we can't make up our mind.
No, we have no idea. They just don't know, I think. They don't know. What they do know, though, I love this. In Italy, there are 2 doctors who are saying now that the virus is losing its potency. It's not nearly as deadly as it was when it first started out. And that's usually what happens, by the way, is as time goes on, the virus usually lessens in severity rather than increases in severity. And that's what's happening here. Yeah, that's really good. So hopefully that will be the case. And even if you do get it, it's going to be much less severe than it was. That's what, and so one guy is claiming that, and another guy in Italy just backed him up. Said, yep, that's what we're finding. So, again, so
what do you want from me?
So I don't know. Now we can turn our attention to looting, I think.
Has YouTube taken those doctors' voices down yet?
I hope so, because I hope so.
Because
haters,
right,
racists, xenophobes. I don't know what else can we call them, because he said something we don't like. Actually, I love that. That is awesome. Actually, my church is starting to. We're talking about going back in full in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
In full. Now, is that in full in today's world? Is that 25%?
No.
Capacity?
No. That's skipping right to everybody just all come. I don't know how they're doing that.
Okay.
I expressed to my wife, I don't know how we're doing that because everybody says 25% right now. And we're not even to the 50% level.
No.
Yet they're saying, yeah, everybody can come back. We'll have some guidelines, but everybody come back. I'm like, okay.
All right.
Can we do that? Really? Or will we be arrested? Will we be beaten with clubs?
That's possible.
I mean,
that's almost not funny anymore.
Right? I know. You're more likely to be arrested at church than you are for looting a Foot Locker.
That's a fact.
By a lot.
That's a fact.
It is. And it's despicable that that's happening. But yes, it's happening. I mean, they have actually arrested churchgoers for having more than 50 people there. But in Madison, Wisconsin, a group of about 150 demonstrators were throwing rocks at police officers Saturday night. And at least 75 stores, 75, were damaged or looted and destroyed overnight. Despite the bedlam and the property damage, in that particular case, Madison police made 3 arrests. 3.
Wow.
I mean...
Wow.
How do you make sense of this wacky world now?
You're not going to be able to stop anything by doing that.
Nope.
Not going to be able to stop anything.
Everybody's hammering President Trump for saying when the looting starts, the shooting starts. But that's how you stop this kind of stuff.
Well,
it's not going to take very many people being shot before people stop looting and taking advantage of a really desperate, awful situation.
Right. I mean, I know his tweet last night was law and order. So that has to be.
Yeah.
But the looting and the shooting, I mean, that was just a silly, stupid tweet. And, everybody wants to get all... He's right. He's being Donald Trump.
Right.
And I know that the Chicago mayor, she was a little upset over Donald Trump and his shooting, shooting tweet.
Here's what she said.
I will code what I really want to say to Donald Trump. It's 2 words. It begins with F and it ends with U.
Very classy. Stay classy, Puddin'. Stay classy.
Well, she coded it, so... Let's not forget about Lori Lightfoot, though. Remember at the beginning of the pandemic when the city and most of the country was on complete lockdown and no one was supposed to be going to get their hair done or have any kind of manicures or face done. She did.
Oh, right.
She
out
did.
In the public eye. And, I'm a person who I take my personal hygiene very seriously.
Oh, pause it for a second.
Felt like I
none of us do. We're all slobs who like to wallow in our own filth. That's what we like to do. I mean, I know that's you. That's crazy that you what? You like personal hygiene? The rest of us are just like wallowing in pig slop every day.
There's not much left, though. You don't need to play it because he just said, I got a haircut. I got a haircut.
That is unbelievable.
I just want to...
What an elitist.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
Well, I'll code it to President Trump, F and U.
So despicable. Oh, I can't take it. How are we supposed to take it from these people?
I don't know. I mean, we have the Chicago mayor, the same kind of deal as De Blasio, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to. It's not his fault. His policies haven't done any of this.
Well, I wonder whose fault it could be. Let's find out from Bill who he blames for all
I have
this.
not. I'll always, Dave, tell you what I know and what I don't know. I've not seen the specific words coming out of the White House or actions, but I can tell you this, and this is the blunt truth. The President of the United States helped to create this atmosphere,
Pause it
and
for a
that's the
second.
tragedy.
Okay, he doesn't know the words that have come out. He doesn't know what he said about any of this. He doesn't know anything about the White House. All I can tell you is I do know it's his fault. What kind of crap is that?
Come on.
All right, let's hear the rest of this.
Words coming out of the White House or actions, but I can tell you this, and this is the blunt truth. The President of the United States helped to create this atmosphere, and that's the tragedy here.
No, it's really not.
Doesn't matter what your party affiliation is. Doesn't matter what you think.
Okay, I can't take it anymore. You know who helped create this? Maxine Waters. She's the one who helped create this. Maxine Waters, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Bill de Blasio, Andrew Cuomo. Those are the people who are firing up their base on the left. It is the leftists who are rioting, and it is the leftists who inspired them. It's just that simple. Oh, man. All right. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me tell you about the classic learning test. The SAT and the ACT are often thought of as, the inconvenient tests that students have to give up a Saturday and take, and you just have to a couple of times in your junior year and then again in your senior year. But the reality is the SAT and ACT are the two most powerful forces driving curriculum in the United States. How is that? Well, because the College Board that writes the SAT also controls the curriculum because the curriculum has to help you pass the SAT. So all of this left-wing propaganda pops up in the SAT test and in what your students are learning in high school every year. So you could either have a far left organization test your kids, or you could do the classic learning test. It's been around for just over 4 years now, and it's already been adopted by more than 200 colleges, and nearly every college will now consider CLT scores as at least a supplemental component of an application to college. It's shorter than the SAT and ACT, and students now take it from the comfort of their own home with the remote proctoring technology. Now, the final CLT of the year is June 20th. So you have about 19 days left, and it's rapidly approaching. SAT and ACTs have been canceled, so the demand for CLT has been really high, and so spaces are limited. Get there now. To register for the June 20th official college entrance exam, visit cltexam.com. That's cltexam.com. Register now. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. From Pew Pew One Pew, we get this tweet. Anyone seen riots for the black men, women, and children being killed in Chicago every weekend? Yeah, no, not so much. Equisel 10. Reading Twitter, seeing posts saying burn the monuments in D.C. and other parts of the U.S. down. If they're so angry with America and slavery and oppression, shouldn't they just move to Iran, China, Europe? Just saying. From Hannah Coker, has anyone heard from Colonel Joe Tobin? Did he say these riots were okay? Where is Joe when we need him? I don't know. It's a good question because, I mean...
By what authority did you nullify the Bill of Rights?
I called up Cardinal Tobin, Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
All right.
No problem.
Got this tweet from Jeffy's hidden belt buckle. Wait, Jeffy's in studio? That poor chair. Hey, there's somebody who's considerate of inanimate objects. I don't know. I don't understand it myself. Jeffy, I'm not sure what they're saying there. From Tampa Ken. So, Pat, what did you grab during the riot sale? Well, allegedly, an 80-inch television and a pair of Air Jordans. And then a couple of sweatsuit outfits. And
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You know, I was reminded. I saved the video of the original Target looting in Minneapolis. The first day of rioting and protesting in Minneapolis. And there's two of my favorite looters in this video. Just let the video roll. There's the one is this overweight white lady with her lamps. But look at these shopping carts coming out of the store. I mean, just full of with stuff. Electronics. But as we're coming up here, as a little while, it still takes a little while. I can edit. But here comes, as these guys go by, my favorite looter. There he goes with his new DVR player. Here comes the overweight white lady with her lamps. My favorite. She's gone. She's just got her lamps. She's jogging out. She's my favorite. She's one of my favorites.
The lamps.
And
that's what you loot?
Look at that. I mean, they're just filling up shopping carts with anything they want. Just full of anything.
Wow.
As we get farther back into the store, we see shopping carts full of stuff. This is the original Target in Minneapolis. And then as we come to this back aisle, we get the shopping cart full of stuff, and then these two guys are pulling their what I think is a microwave. They've decided that they needed that microwave too. They just couldn't get it in the cart, so they're just dragging it.
Look at that, just stuffed.
But here comes my favorite looter is the towel and the vacuum cleaner. He's got a brand new towel over around his head covering his face because coronavirus,
right?
And pushing the vacuum cleaner is just
despicable.
No kidding.
Not
really
a single
is.
arrest being made.
Oh,
they're just allowed to destroy that store, steal everything in it.
No, that was the start of it. That was the beginning.
Man, it's hard to believe, isn't it? It's hard to believe. All right. Nomnivore tweets, those rioters. They misunderstood. They thought we needed herd mentality. We need herd immunity. It's an understandable mistake right there.
Right.
That's an understandable mistake. And from Jeffy's space travel agent. Jeffy, I told you to buy 2 seats and get on that ship. Although it's great to see you back in the studio.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, they did. They took off on Saturday.
The launch was great. It was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had made sure that everybody was like, I'm sure most houses in America, or at least millions, were watching the launch with their family. Did you happen to catch it?
I did not catch it on Saturday. I was all set on Wednesday, but
you didn't.
But there it goes. No, I forgot.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man.
There
See
it
what
goes.
you missed?
Yep. That was exciting. That was exciting. It actually was.
It was
exciting.
Really exciting. It was really fun to watch. And then I watched yesterday as they docked with the space station and got climbed aboard the space station.
Took 19 hours to get there.
Yeah, I know.
It's a long trip.
Long trip. As slow. I kept waiting, as they were coming up to dock with the space station. It was like forever. They were moving so slow. It was like I felt like, in other documentaries like Armageddon, let's say. The documentary Armageddon. They just pull right up.
Yeah, they do.
And then when the
Star
space
Trek,
station,
same thing with Star Trek.
The space station was destroyed. It was going to be destroyed, exploding.
Right.
They just hurried up and got in and pulled away.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, how tough is it?
But
just get out of there. Get in there. Get out.
But yesterday, the Dragon just took forever
Takes a long
to
time.
get up to the space station.
But it's really cool that we're doing this again. It's cool to be back in the business of space travel.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Kidding. Yes.
Donald Trump.
So. Yes.
Thank you for that, because we shouldn't be hitchhiking. We shouldn't be space hitchhikers with the Russians every time, who charge us $100 million to get people into space. Ludicrous. So, what's interesting is that we were all excited about Apollo and the first moonshot, and then by Apollo 16, we're like, what? I didn't know that there was another launch. When the world stopped down for Apollo 11. And same thing happened with the space shuttle.
We were
interested in the first one.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So the good news, a successful launch into space by Elon Musk and NASA, who are in that together. It's not just SpaceX doing that. NASA had a lot to do with that. But it's nice that we can launch our own astronauts from our own soil again.
Yes, it is.
And that did happen on Saturday, plus it docked safely. So the astronauts have been delivered to the space station.
Yes.
And then they'll climb back into the vehicle, I guess, a month or 4 months from now? They're not sure how long they're going to stay.
I mean, if I'm them, I just, we're good.
Yeah, we just did it. All right, let's go home. Let's go home.
I don't know. I'm looking back at the U.S. and saying, maybe I'll just stay here for a little while.
Oh, you're saying they should stay in space.
You know what? You guys take care of things down there for a little while. We'll be up here.
Yeah, things are, probably a little less tense in space than they are here.
Things are less tense at the space station.
Yes. I believe there are Russians on the space station right now, right?
Yeah, there were 3 others that graded them. Yeah.
So we had that. Also, there are a couple of doctors in Italy saying that the virus is nowhere near as potent as it once was. That is great news.
That's great news.
It's awesome news. And apparently, there's no problem with the spread of this thing if you're not social distancing anymore, because CNN's not complaining about the protesters who gathered by the thousands in Minneapolis, jammed together, yelling and screaming and spewing little particles of spit all over their neighbors, and nobody cares about that. That's perfectly fine. What about that second wave? Aren't we worried about a second wave in Minneapolis?
Yeah.
We were worried about a second wave when we were talking about a Democratic National Convention or a Republican National Convention. We were worried about it during spring break. We were worried about it when people went to the beach, but we're not worried about it now.
We're worried about it going to restaurants. We're worried about it going to shows.
Opening too soon.
Yeah. I mean, you yourself tested fate on Friday.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, that's good.
That's true. Stu and I did a death-defying stunt. We actually went to the only movie theater open in the state of Texas. Went inside and watched a movie. And let me tell you, what a quality movie it was. It was Bloodshot with Vin Diesel.
Can
that man act or what?
Now you're talking... That's Oscar worthy.
Yeah. I'm not sure when the Queen is going to knight him and make him Sir Vin Diesel, but
soon.
It's got to happen soon.
Yeah,
you got to believe it's going to happen soon.
If it wasn't for the lockdown,
yeah, I think it would have already happened. Yeah, like Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins, Sir Laurence Olivier, Sir Paul McCartney, another guy who's really at the top of his craft. When will it be Sir Vin Diesel?
Is there any particular line or phrase that you remembered in the movie that
they were
stuck
just
out
all
to you?
Delivered so well. It's hard to pick just one because, wow, he was good. It was a brilliant movie.
So it was worth risking your life.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. It absolutely was.
Good.
Yeah. So, yeah. And it's available on demand at home. If you don't want to risk your life, you don't need to. You can just rent it at home. And is it ever worth the whatever?
Oh, I thought you were going to say
or
watching
whatever.
you and Stu go, put your lives at risk.
You can also do that
on his stupid YouTube channel, whatever it is.
And I think
America.
Hopefully, we did it on my YouTube channel as well. He said he was going to send it in so we could post it there too.
Oh, okay.
So it's at Pat Gray Pat Gray Unleashed on YouTube, and Stu Does America on YouTube.
YouTube.com/Pat Gray. By the way,
is that what it is?
According to the screen right now, that's what it says.
That is what it says. YouTube.com/Pat Gray. That's where you'll find it. All right. And where you'll find Bloodshot is on demand on your television at home.
Nice.
You will not be disappointed. Believe me, it is quality entertainment.
Pat Gray says 3 thumbs up. I mean, 2 thumbs up.
I don't know if you can give it enough thumbs. It's that good. It really is that good. man, he outdid himself this time. And he has what? Like 80 million Facebook or 100 million Facebook followers or something? Yeah. It's like unbelievable the influence this guy has. And I think that's why people put him in his movies. So he'll post it on his sites.
When you have the great talent of Vin Diesel?
Yeah, right. Right. You can't keep it from people. It must be shared, that sort of talent.
It's the law.
Am I right?
You are.
Yeah. All right. 888-900-3393. So if you had to predict, how long do you think these riots last? They did the charges, what was it, Friday? I think Friday afternoon, they leveled the charges at the cop who killed George Floyd. So he was charged with third-degree murder and manslaughter. The other three have charges pending. They all participated either by not helping the guy or by actually...
I watched the whole thing again this weekend, all the angles that I could find of the arrest and the subsequent murder. And it was just, they all need to be charged. I mean, I don't know why what they're waiting for. I was being reported that a couple of the officers have, left the city. One is still somewhere in the city. It's being reported. They're obviously not where, but they all need to be brought in. I mean, it's just disgusting what they did to that man.
Very, yeah, it's despicable. And so, but justice has been served. They did charge. First of all, they fired them immediately. Now they have charged the guy with murder. So what are we doing in the streets then? What do you want? What is the goal now?
Well, they're angry at the systematic racism, because would it have been turned out that way if there wasn't a video? Well, my argument to that is, there was a video, and that's why it turned out, and that's why we're angry, and that's why it was brought to light. Mm-hmm. Be good with that.
Right.
That's
what do you mean? If there wasn't a video, would there? I don't know, but there was, and it did happen. So what are you talking about? Did you see the? Also, Matt Walsh posted a video that was pretty interesting of a white guy who was treated the same way, and killed as well by police officers.
Yeah.
And was there rioting over that? No, nobody's even heard of that one. Nobody even knew about that one. And there was video of it. Plus, they're laughing about it the whole time. Did you actually see the video?
That. No.
They're joking about whether or not he's dead. I hope he's not dead. I hope I didn't just kill this guy. You think I killed him? Is he breathing? It's like that. Wow. It's an unbelievable video. There they are with his knee in his back.
It's a common hold. I know. I mean, it's a common way to hold people down.
But it shouldn't be, maybe, because you've got the guy pinned with his arms behind his back and you're kneeling on him. Of course, you're making it difficult for him to breathe.
Right.
Why do you have to do that? Put him in the back of the squad car and let's roll downtown with him.
I saw two police officers I saw another video from last night or the night before, where officers had taken down a guy and they were handcuffing him and arresting him, and the one officer had his knee on his throat like that. And of course the video, take your knee off his neck, take your knee off his neck. And you see the other officer actually shove his knee off the guy's neck.
Oh, really?
And picked him up, because the people were screaming about it. But so it's a common, some kind of a common arrest move. And you're right. I mean, rules change, right? Maybe we don't do that anymore. Maybe we realize that that will that's worse than what the outcome is. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's not do it.
Yeah. I mean, they finally get the guy picked up and put on a stretcher, because a medical team arrives EMTs arrive, and they put him on the stretcher, put him in the back of the ambulance, and take off. And they're still joking about it. You think I killed the guy?
Wow.
Hope I didn't kill him. Yeah, no, he's fine. Was he breathing? Nah, I don't know. I don't know. We didn't check. I mean, really amazing. And that was a white guy. So
we don't care.
We don't care. We don't care. Actually, I do. I don't understand why it just doesn't. That doesn't go anywhere, though. That doesn't. It doesn't gain any traction when it's a white person. Nobody's ever heard of that one. All right, let me tell you about Omega XL. Inflammation is the root cause of an awful lot of pain, especially if it's in your joints. You might have something inflamed in there, whether it's from arthritis or whatever. And if you take those NSAIDs, the drugs like Motrin, well, they can be damaging if you take a lot of them to your liver and your kidneys and other innards that you have. And so that's why I really like Omega XL, because it goes right to the inflammation and it's all natural. Pain relievers and topical creams, pain relievers especially, can be problematic and cause side effects. Plus, they don't treat the problem, they just mask it. But Omega XL goes right to the inflammation, and it's backed by 30 years of research. It's a powerful natural supplement that helps reduce pain due to inflammation, and it promotes healthy joints and increased mobility, plus promotes a healthy immune response in your body. And I've got a special offer for you right now to get you started. When you order a bottle right now, you'll get a second bottle absolutely free. For more information, visit omegaxl.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888 or omegaxl.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
You seen any of the Lance Armstrong documentary?
Not yet. No.
Yeah, you need to see that.
No,
that guy is something else. It is amazing.
So you've lost your fanhood?
Oh, some time ago. Yeah. Some time ago.
So good.
And,
such a douche.
I've never cared about cycling until Lance Armstrong sort of transcended the sport. It's kind of like Tiger Woods. I don't care about golf, but Tiger Woods transcended that sport.
Yes.
And the same with Lance Armstrong. I don't really care about cycling, but when an American wins 7 Tour de France's in a row, that's kind of cool.
Right. It's kind of like the Olympics has a lot of sports that you don't really care about.
Yes. And cycling is definitely one of them.
It is.
Definitely one of them.
You don't usually do 10 to 50 miles on the weekend?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Screw your shoes onto the pedals.
But Lance Armstrong was so adamant for so many years.
Yes, he was.
He went after you if you even alleged he'd taken a performance-enhancing drug. And he did it from day one of his pro career, which I don't think I even knew that until this documentary. I mean, I knew he did it a lot, but I didn't know it happened from the start.
So does this documentary, maybe it doesn't, and it hasn't gotten that far into it yet. How is it? 3, 6 episodes?
Oh, I don't know how many. There's only
does it get into
2 so far.
It get into like he was doing the performance enhancing drugs, but I remember reading about blood transfusions. And,
I'm sure it gets
draining,
into all that. The doping, blood doping. He did it all. Anything that would enhance your performance, he did it. And
there's look, some of us do that. I've spent our lives doing that, Pat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Some of us spend our lives.
You do the blood doping
and enhancing their performance.
Transfusions.
Yeah.
Huh. I wouldn't have guessed that.
I did mine wrong.
I wouldn't have guessed it because, your performance.
Being athletically overweight and all.
Yeah. And your performance lacks a certain je ne sais quoi, if you will. So I'm kind of surprised to hear about the,
I have to watch it. I'll be fascinated to see everything that he did.
It's incredible. It's really amazing. And athletes are taking many chances with the body that they've trained their whole lives, and then they start putting all these substances in.
They're doing it because of that drive to be the top, right?
And he kept saying, everybody did it, so you didn't have a chance if you
didn't.
That's
not the point, really.
That's not the point.
Because I don't care about him doing the performance. I don't care if he sucked all the blood out of him and put new blood in from some young bicyclist that he stole it from. I don't care. I really don't. But he was adamant that he didn't do any of it.
Big time. For many years.
Forever.
Many years. Yeah. Yeah, and apparently the rumors started circulating like right away. And he viciously went after people who accused him of it. And then now to hear him talk about it as cavalierly as he does, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
I mean, he's got to be happy that it's out, right? So that he doesn't have to hide it anymore. But it's really frustrating for those of us that really wanted to believe.
And defended him tooth and nail.
Yeah.
To the detractors. I defended him all the time. And then, so it's kind of like he just turned around and spit in your face.
He sure did.
And yeah, so the romance with Lance kind of over.
Sad.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the doping in cycling continues to this day because they're all so convinced that they can't win without it.
Right.
I'll bet it still goes on.
And it's just like any major sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you feel that you have to do something to enhance your performance, and you see someone else doing it, that even pushes you farther to do it because you've got to keep up with the Joneses. Right?
Yeah, well,
you have to, or you keep up or you die.
That's true.
And so, I mean, it's tough for me to think, well, no, you guys, you shouldn't do that. You should all be drunks like Babe Ruth was and stop doing those.
But that didn't help his performance. being a tubby,
and he did. He
tubby alcoholic.
He thought it did.
I don't know that he thought drinking was helping him.
The hungover was the only way he could play.
Yeah, it is interesting, and it would be interesting to see what the numbers would have been like had nobody ever gotten into steroids. What would Barry Bonds have? I mean, he still would have been great, right? I mean, you got to believe Barry Bonds.
Yes.
But does he break?
Yes.
Does he break the record? I don't know. I don't know if he breaks Hank Aaron's record at that point. All on his own, maybe not. But it gives Hank Aaron something to say. Well, yeah, but I didn't do that, and that's true. So, and he's not in the Hall of Fame either. I mean, the guy with his numbers not in the Hall of Fame.
That's actually kind of sad.
It's kind of amazing.
I mean, just have the roid wing at the Hall of Fame.
I think people have talked about that, where you'd put some sort of asterisk there and put him in anyway. But I think the whole stigma is starting to go away because these guys are getting closer and closer to being included in the Hall of Fame. I mean, they started out at like 15% of the vote when you need, 75%?
Yeah,
now I think they're in the low 70s. I think Barry Bonds was pretty close last year. So we'll see.
Because he should be there, right?
Yeah, he should be there. I kind of think so now.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Everybody did it. Right?
So that makes it okay.
That's fine.
See?
That's fine. Yeah.
Everybody's going into the Nike store and getting free shoes. I'm getting mine.
That's exactly right.
Makes it okay.
Makes all of it just fine. If everybody's doing it, then you can do it too.
Yes, thank you.
Everybody's running in and getting their shoes. They're free shoes. So why wouldn't I?
Everybody's running into the Cheesecake Factory and getting their cheesecake.
Yeah, I got to see that.
That's one of my favorites.
Let's watch the looting of the Cheesecake
There's
Factory.
a news report, and they're talking about the Cheesecake Factory and the rioting and the streets going on and on. But then in the background, you'll see this lady walk by with a full cheesecake.
From your experience, you see someone actually walking away with a cheesecake there after the Cheesecake Factory was looted. Unclear where they may have gotten that, but
wait, what?
Going back to the destruction and the looting that we have seen.
Okay,
it sounds like
you're just talking about the fact that she's walking away with a full cheesecake after the looting of the Cheesecake Factory, but it's unclear where she may have gotten that. What?
That is my favorite line.
Wait.
I think of the weekend.
You see someone actually walking away with a cheesecake there after the Cheesecake Factory was looted. Unclear where they may have gotten that, but
they might have gotten it from the Dalton bookseller right next door.
Yeah,
they might have gotten it from that, or there was a Kirby vacuum cleaner retail outlet. They might have got
that there.
Yeah. But
it's unclear. It's unclear where that cheesecake came from.
Is it a wild coincidence the Cheesecake Factory was looted and she has a full cheesecake?
Yes.
It might be.
Yes, it is.
What a weird report. What a weird
unclear
world.
Where the cheesecake
It's unclear. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. I mean, I think I want that news reporter as my attorney. I do like that idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's unclear just because
you don't know that.
You're just putting the two together. It doesn't mean she got it from there.
Does it say Cheesecake Factory on it?
Thank you.
No, it doesn't. So move along. Also, there was some frustration apparently on MSNBC.
Really good, yeah. You know as well as I do, Pat. There are times in broadcasting when things happen and you're like, oh, come on, why is this happening? And for MSNBC, that happened this weekend in the riot coverage.
Okay. Seeing dozens of cruisers start to advance on any remaining crowd that's in place.
What is the deal?
That's what I'm saying. They just break. It's gone.
This what?
She's so frustrated. She's just throwing her papers down.
What was she frustrated about?
And because it
cut
off.
out of his feed.
The feed just cut off, and they just started playing music, and she doesn't know what to do.
Okay.
And so they throw it back to her, and then a little bit later on, this happens to her.
This is an NBC News special report.
I mean,
I'm Chris Jansing bringing you a
she is just all over the place for MSNBC. I guess the weekend crew was in town. Nobody knew what they were doing. She handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
She handled it as well as you can expect. But that's how good MSNBC is these days, right there.
That was pretty bad.
I know.
They're just pushing all kinds of buttons, thinking, let's try this one. What does this one do? Hey, let's see if we can touch this one. What? Okay.
Chris is just throwing her pads down. I said enough. It just made me laugh.
That's kind of fun.
Just made me laugh.
Yeah, that's fun. Especially since it happened on MSNBC.
Yes.
Nobody deserves it more. Well, except for CNN. Actually, I think CNN deserves it even more now than MSNBC does. What terrible, terrible news outlets those are. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So your prediction on how long these the lootings and the riotings last.
I mean, I'd like to say that it's over, right? I would love to say that it would be over, but you're looking at probably.
I don't think so, though.
I think you got probably another couple days before we actually do something to shut it down, right?
Well, they're bringing in the National Guard in many of these cities. Maybe the National Guard can quell this violence. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed.
There has to be.
Yeah,
there has to be some sort of law and order.
All right, 888-900-3393. Use that number tomorrow, and we will see you then. Plus, next on Stu Show, on Glenn Show, filling in for Stu. That's how it works. Wait, what?
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.